What are you doing, step muffler? No, the question is, what am I doing with a Delkevic slip-on exhaust for this Suzuki Bandit that does nothing but give me headaches? Well, that Bandit is getting ready to go on a 1,200-mile trip, and the person that's going to be riding it is the person I bought it from. And I thought it would be fun to put this SlashCut 14-inch stainless Delkevic exhaust on it. Two reasons. One, I think I finally might have hit on something that's been giving me so much of my troubles in getting this thing tuned correctly. The long warm-up time and the laggy throttle response. I shimmed out the needles. I had 4 shims. I found 4 shims from one of my interceptor, and you can actually shim the needles by just popping the tank off, and you could pop the caps off without removing the carburetor rack, which is really nice. I think I actually need to go one more shim, but I'm gonna get the exhaust on because it doesn't make sense to tune it and then just retune it. The other thing I need to do, I'm at 2 turns out right now on the air fuel mixture screws. I think I bumped that up to 2 1/4, 2 1/2, and I'm gonna get most of that throttle response back that I feel like I've never ever had. The other reason why I'm getting that exhaust, this bike, it's gotta impress me on this trip. If it doesn't impress me on this trip, I'm gonna fucking sell the thing. I say that every year, and I just can't bring myself to do it. The stock exhaust is really quiet on this thing. You can't even hear the exhaust when you're riding. I mean, if you're on the freeway with earplugs on, you cannot hear the exhaust. So what you'll see, part of the reason why I'm thinking I'm still lean is because I'll get this bit of a hanging idle right there before it comes down. And coming at it from a new point of view, I just think with the shim under the needle, now the shim isn't going to be helping my drop down from idle, but I'm probably still a little bit lean there on the pilot circuit, so either bigger pilot jets or just going out on the air fuel mixture screw a little bit might get me where I need to be. Anyway, this is what the exhaust sounds like on here. It's not terribly exciting, but I actually do like a quiet exhaust because it allows you to sneak around a neighborhood, not piss everyone off. But one of the bikes that we're going on the motorcycle trip with is a Harley that'll shake every window in the world. So it doesn't matter what I put on this thing, it can't be nearly as loud. So I will see about getting this gigantic OEM exhaust off. Yeah, you put it on the kickstand after you get it all loosened up, and now it should work. Okay. There, we'll just run it straight pipes. That'll be cool. I've been kind of feeling like an idiot, but I know that I need to put this new exhaust gasket in. The problem was it didn't fit, so I'm looking at it like, how the hell is that thing supposed to fit? Well, it wasn't. Okay, this didn't look like this before. It was, you know, flush inside of there. I was trying to fit a gasket inside the gasket. Now, this has not been terribly easy to this point, but I gotta get this old gasket out first. But one thing this bike doesn't realize, I will have no issue pushing this thing off the ferry into Lake Michigan the instant it gives me any fucking problems. Fuck, I hate that I have neighbors right there. God damn, it's like 10:30 outside. I just want to start it. I want to hear at least the idle. That sounds angry. Oh no. All right, well, it's next day with the Bandit. I rode the bike to work today, and it's not nearly as loud as I was thinking it was. Maybe because I started it last night in the garage and the reverberation, it was very loud then. It sounds very nice on the bike, and it's a nice exhaust. I just shimmed the needle. Here's what happened. So I feel like by putting the exhaust back on, I actually took a step backwards to how the tune was previously, which is what I was trying to fix, but I was like, I want to hear a cool sound out of it, so put that on. I found 4 more shims from another rebuild, not rebuild, but yeah, it was a rebuild kit because it was a rebuild kit for one of those, and I had 4 more shims that worked. So basically you can just pop these caps off, 1, 2, 3, 4, comes up, springs in it, pull the slide with the diaphragm, and then you could pop the needle off, put another shim on it. So that's what I did. I did it on all 4 of them, JS there. These ones are a little bit tricky, but you can get them without pulling the rack off, which is great. I know that the air fuel mixture screws are likely too lean. I'm not willing to go burn my hand yet. That's not the problem I'm trying to resolve right now. The problem I'm trying to resolve right now is the snappiness on the throttle, which I had taken a step forward. I figured just, well, I've got it here. Let's just check the sync on it. I don't think the synchronization is the issue, but I do want to get some of those vacuum gauges.
All right, we'll see if those changes did anything. I'm sure they did something. I just don't know if they did anything good. I'm just not sure why this bike gives me so much grief compared to every other bike I touch. Nothing is quite like trying to get this one to run right. The FCR had rocks in the oil pan when I first changed the oil. The VF500 Sawzys that I just fucking redid, we didn't even know if that bike ran. The carburetor came in a box of just rolling around parts. It fired right up. The SV650, I completely took that thing apart, fired right up, and it didn't even have one of the vacuum caps on it. No synchronization, nothing. Everything else, not that I know really that well what I'm doing, but I've been at this one longer than any other one, by far. This is the only carburetor I actually have dreams and nightmares about. I just don't understand why it's not, you know, easier. That being said, I do think this shimming out was the right idea. I should put some new brake pads in this thing. Oh, that didn't waste any time. Yep. Shimming the needles is the right idea. I have not had that kind of acceleration. I have been too lean in a bunch of areas. Also, it just sounds better with that exhaust. Bike is faster now. I shouldn't say like the wide open throttle, it isn't faster. Like I don't think it has outright more power. I don't think wide open throttle once the slide gets up was the issue. It's when the input from the throttle goes to the carburetors. There always felt like there was like this turbo fucking spin up lag on this bike, and I think we're getting closer to getting rid of it. I hope that there's a carpool lane here, because motorcycles can use the HOV lane. That is a federal law that I only learned about. I have no idea when I learned about it. I do have an idea. It was like within the last year. Bandits, right? Hooligan shit? That's what this is supposed to be, right? A hooligan bike? I'm not a hooligan, so it doesn't even make sense that I have this bike. Oh, it is more fun to ride with a loud exhaust, though. Keeping the baffle in is the right idea for me because I don't need too much fucking racket, but I think you still would want to wear earplugs if you're going on a long ride on this. I think the droning would get you after a while, but it does make a bike, it makes you smile a lot more. Alright, well, I am happy I put that second shim inside of here. This feels like it did before I put the Dan Moto, whatever the fuck it's called, the Delkevic exhaust on here. 2 shims are on here now. Stock exhaust, or sorry, stock intake, stock jetting, calibrated TPS sensor. What else we got? Stock, yeah, stock jets. Everything stock except for the exhaust now and the 2 shims. Got the Metzler M7RR tires on it. These are pretty new. I mean, these maybe got 600 miles on them. I'm going through this because I want my buddy to have a good time on this bike. I mean, and it was his bike. This was his first bike. It ended up in my possession because it was such a lemon. The shop that he took it to, I still remember, $954. They sent it back fucking non-running, broken, everything about it. Everything about this thing. They invented lemon laws, I think, for this bike. I don't even know what a lemon law is, but I imagine that a Suzuki Bandit, this Suzuki Bandit, is probably on the Wikipedia page for lemon laws. But you know what, right now, it's working pretty damn good. Anyway, I think we're making progress. I mean, I still don't like the wandering idle when you're coming to a stop. I don't like the fact that you have to, this is an input device for you until you get it hot, but besides that, pretty good. You watched this far, thanks for watching.